What is this vintage tool? I sell vintage tools and the like, and was really stumped on this one. It was my grandfather's, and I acquired before they tore down the old house. He died before I was born, so I can't exactly ask him. It is very light and about the size of a hand. It has a spring mechanism attached to the thin metal. Circa the 1950s, but I am unsure. Any ideas? It's a linoleum cutter, or more specifically, scorer. Patented July 13, 1937, by Willis T. Fulton of Oakland, California. You know how you want to cut something right onto an edge for a perfect fit like linoleum, carpets, wallpaper, etc., but you can't get a perfect cut because the excess curls up the wall? This tool allows you to cut close, within a couple of inches. You then put the tool over the cut edge of the linoleum and press the tool firmly into the wall and floor edge and run it along. The little needle will score a line onto the curved bit of linoleum just at the right spot. Then you take the tool off and take your knife to cut along the scored edge for a perfect fit cut. What is this tool I found at an antique store? It has the word "Ideal" stamped on the side, a hand crank, and it's meant to be mounted on a table. Approximately 10 inches wide, 9 inches tall, and weighs about 4 pounds. It looks like some kind of sheet metal forming tool. Any ideas? It's a 1930s hand crank pinking tool. It is upside down in the picture. This would bolt to the side of a sewing machine or pattern cutting table, and you would crank the fabric through. As it is pulled through the sharpened disc, it cuts a zigzag or pinked edge into the raw fabric. This helps stop delicate fabrics from fraying at the cut edges and also helps make seams a little more flexible when sewn up. What is this antique conical container I found in an estate sale? Made of copper, around 12.5 inches long and 5 inches in diameter. It looks like it was used for cleaning ashes from a fireplace, or it might be a candle snuffer. Any ideas? It's a Victorian copper ale and wine warmer. This vessel once used to rapidly warm ale, beer, cider, and wine on an open fire. A traditional way to drink these beverages. The alcohol would have been poured into the body, and the tip would be held over a fire to warm it to room temperature for drinking. What is this thing I found at the antique store? The leather case has Masonic markings, with the stamped "Handy" and "Open Here" on the underside, along with the "Made in USA" and "Patent March and May 1921. Does anyone have a clue? It's a pocket-folding travel razor. It was manufactured during the 1920s or 30s, sometime after the patent in 1921, making it close to 100 years old. Various razor companies manufactured travel-size razors in the early 1900s. The Pocket Razor Company took their travel set to a new level. A compact folding razor, no larger than the blade itself. What is this thing found in an antique store? I'm thinking of some kind of farming equipment. It's about 10 inches long if that helps. The center bolt spins and moves a piece down the axis, and the nut on the end is hollow on top and threaded so you can attach a bolt to it. I can't find anything like it on Google. Any information about it would be much appreciated. It's a late 19th century locomotive steam engine boiler tube flue cleaner scraper tool. It looks like for 3-inch size, but it is adjustable for a larger and slightly smaller size. The end cap is threaded to mount on the pipe handle for the proper length required. Nice old powerhouse railroad piece. I found this while cleaning out a pantry. It looks like someone bought this at a yard sale or antique store. It is flat and smooth on the bottom and fits in your hand. Is it an old school iron for clothing? No part of asbestos sad iron sounds good. This is an iron missing the detachable handle. Your part would have been put on a stove to heat and was sold in sets of 2 or 3, so one part could be used while the others were heating. The irons may say asbestos, but the asbestos was actually in the cover or handle that goes over the iron. It was made by the Tverdal Johnson Company and patented on May 22, 1900. so probably made between 1900 and 1920. I picked this up in an antique store in Edinburgh for £15. My flatmate seems to think it's quite rare. I wondered if it was part of a collection of some kind. Any ideas would be much appreciated. It's an Awaji pottery from Japan. It's got its name after the Japanese island on which it was made. Most of the pieces we find are made from the mid-1870s, when Awaji began to export its products, to the mid to late 1930s, when the last of the kilns closed. The most common mark is the Sanpei flag, and the pieces stamped Japan were produced between 1890 and 1922. The impressed Made in Japan mark on Awaji pottery was used between 1922 and the kiln's closings in 1939. What is this old machine I found in an antique store? I bought this not knowing what it was. The brand is Stella, but I don't think it's a sewing machine. On the left it says pedal. On the plate on the right is power. Any ideas? It's a rare 1930s Spanish sock repair machine with a lamp. I had one like it. I also had no idea what it was when I bought it. But after consulting with an expert in Spain, I learned that it is actually a 1930s sock repair machine. It originally was connected to a foot pedal, and it comes with a needle and some accessories. What is this metal strainer or some kind found in a storage unit of antique kitchen items? There's a swastika logo on top, so possibly from before World War II. Any info about what this might be would be helpful. It's a food mill that was made in 1905 to 1912 time period. It was used to mash potatoes and for processing foods such as tomatoes for sauce or fruit for jam. The blade is removable for cleaning. The symbol, originally meaning good fortune, was found on china, silver, linens, tapestries, etc. It was later adopted by the Nazis, and the positive associations with the symbol had been overshadowed by that dark period in history. A company noted for making these with this symbol was the Dilver Manufacturing Company in Pittsburgh. It's a wonderful piece of history reflecting the time and goodwill. What is this measuring instrument I found in an estate sale? Around 12 centimeters long, brass cylinder with a viewing pane that shows gradients, and a marker that moves up and down when the cylinder is raised vertically and stops when it's placed horizontally. It says Tilliere à Bruxelles 1875 on the glass part on the front. Any ideas? Please let us know down in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.